All right, we're back. We are live. Happy to be back here, second week in a row. And we're going to be continuing, hopefully, we're going to be continuing the conversation that we had last week concerning Google marketing. So we had some great questions last week that surrounded campaigns and what to do when it comes to possibly organic SEO and of course paid ads. So I'm going to welcome more questions again this week and see if I can help answer or clarify anything that you might have out there. I want to bring up one topic here that's kind of it's very common when discussing different marketing campaigns. A lot of people like to jump into marketing and they have not focused more on the brand first. And that's something that we should be aware of. It's something we should really pay attention to, is focusing on the brand messaging, the brand voice, and the foundation really of the company, so that you are speaking specifically to your target audience. Your messaging is clear and consistent before we start any sort of campaigns. If that is in place and in the right direction, then we can market effectively. That's the most important thing. You want to make sure all of that is in play before we start any sort of marketing campaigns. So I'm going to see if we have some questions here. One question. Let me go back here. It's going back to the clients or anyone, any type of person who might be looking to rank for highly competitive keywords. Now that's something that it's a challenge. It can be a big challenge because we have a couple of factors here that you would have to consider when trying to rank for something like that. From an organic standpoint, there's a lot of factors when it comes to the website itself that you would have to consider. For example, do you have proper keyword density within the site when it comes to those keyword phrases? Try not to have keywords compete with each other. Okay, that'll bring down the density and you'll struggle more. We need more good content out there so that Google sees you as a relevant resource. When it comes to the paid side, we have to look at what the cost per click may be. So if it's highly competitive, chances are the cost per click is going to be pretty high. The client needs to understand that a proper budget needs to be put into place for you to even compete, to get onto that first page. What do I think? So we have a question here from LinkedIn about AI and Google. If you're referring to possibly the usage of AI to possibly generate content, that really wouldn't be a bad thing, because the amount of content that needs to be placed out there to create, again, keyword enriched pieces that refer back to the business. That's what we always want to focus on when it comes to creating content for Google. We want to make sure that the piece of content, whether it's an article, a blog that's written, that it is enriched with those keywords. And you're speaking about the topic, and we're referencing back to the business in those links to create those backlinks. but we want to go ahead and speak about or actually insert those keyword phrases strategically in the piece. AI does a tremendous job with content, as we all know. It's lightning fast, and it's remarkable what it can produce. So I would highly recommend go ahead and utilize that. Um, I have another question here about location targeting. That's something that is very popular as well. Something that we utilize here when companies want to break into a new marketplace. There are strategies that we use here when it comes to sourcing out new marketplaces, what the competition, analyzing what's going on there. So looking at the competition, looking at who's ranking, and really what they look like. That's another thing that people don't realize is taking a look at the competition and what is their online presence looking like in the local marketplace. So a lot of times, and this happened to us, I believe it was Q4 of last year, we had this assignment and we dominated. It was such a great success story in like record time. We were looking into a specific marketplace for a company that wanted to break into. It was a different state as well, and the competition there really was not paying attention to their online presence. So that's another story. So we know if we go ahead and we put out a professional site like we always do, we're going to be head and shoulders above them right there, because it screams credibility when you have an online presence that is polished. That's number one. Number two, we were looking at what they were doing exactly in the marketplace, and nobody was utilizing, which was very interesting. No one was utilizing the area, the town, the geolocation that they were trying to market in. So we were able to quickly get in. This could have been a record time. I think we nailed the first page of Google within the first week, which was phenomenal. And then the rest of the keyword phrases came right afterwards, week two. And so just really, really completely dominated. So that was a success story there. I'm looking at some other questions here. Let's see. Suggestions of running more than one Google campaign. Absolutely. For those who may not know or maybe unfamiliar, everybody understands or heard the term AdWords, or just Google ads, so to speak, right? And you have those sponsored ads that appear when you're typing in something. That's one campaign. That's probably the most popular. Have you ever been on a social channel, or you visited a website, you go to a social channel, or you perhaps go to another app, and all of a sudden there goes that brand again in your face? That's a retargeting campaign. And retargeting campaigns are very effective when you're trying to get a product or service to the consumer and get your brand in front of their face again. They showed interest, they looked you up, they found you somewhere. Maybe they left your website. So that's a retargeting campaign. Then we have a display campaign, which is also very popular as well, because those use visuals. Now you're taking custom graphics, banners, and such, and you're putting them out there in Google's affiliate network, which is millions of sites. And you can select different industries as well. We see a lot. That's a great campaign when it comes to brand awareness. So that's something that you should consider as well. We see a lot of traffic coming in. Another question here from LinkedIn: Google ads or social ads? That's a great question. I always use this type of analogy when it comes to Google ads and social ads. Google ads, for me, for the most part, the foundation of them, you could be creative, but you're waiting. You run your ads, you're waiting, you're sitting back, and you want to be there for those opportunities, right? So you want to go ahead and have that presence there for the active searchers that are looking for you, looking for the business. Okay. Whereas social ads, I find that to be more of a proactive and aggressive approach. You're taking your brand and you're putting it right in front of your target audience. So you have there's no noise, there's no interruption, so to speak, like there could be with print. Okay, that's different. Uh, that's the difference. I feel it's more aggressive. You take your brand, you put out your target audience, who, where, and boom, put it right into their feed, into their face. So huge fan of that, especially for a B2C market. You want to go ahead and have those running, because social ads in a way too is, they, your target audience, the people that you're trying to push your product or service on, they're they may not know they need you just yet, but then you go ahead and you put your brand in front of them, and that's powerful. And when you're touching upon the pain points and how you're the solution, that's when things resonate and there's action there. So that's a very good question there, and something to consider with social ads. Can Google Ads help small businesses? Of course, absolutely. Again, dominate the local market. That's really what it comes down to. So it's very important to be doing some local SEO. That's extremely important. But when it comes to Google Ads for small businesses, especially if you're really targeting your immediate location, you could really your money can go much farther. So that's another thing. You may have less competition as well, so your cost per click could be lower. But again, you want to put yourself in a position of opportunity. So having your brand there on the first page of Google is going to give you that. Okay. If you're not there, your competition is getting those leads. They're getting that business. They're getting those phone calls, whatever it may be. So at the very least, you should have some sort of presence there. A question is, how can I be in front of competitors' audiences? So that's a really good question. I like that question because we do that a whole lot. I'm not sure what's going on here on the screen, but we do that a whole lot. And the beauty of Google is that you can target your competitor business names. So whoever your competitors may be, I'm sure you might have seen this before. If you type in your own your company name, you may see other businesses show up as a sponsor there. You're probably wondering, well, how is that happening? So you can go ahead and do that. And we found that there's actually some decent cost per clicks out there to get there at a relatively inexpensive bid. So it's strategic because you're putting yourself above your competition. And what that does is it makes that searcher stop for a second, because I was looking for A, but wait a minute, who is B? I haven't heard of B, but their ad now catches my attention because it was well written. There was something there with a hook, with a call to action, something really strong. So however that ad is created, the copy is extremely important to make that person stop and say, oh, let me check out this alternative too. That is the basis of it. And we've seen a lot of success there. And essentially you're poaching traffic, which is, it's great for your business in a way. Why not, right? If you have the ability to do it, because you know why? People are doing it to you too. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And last here, as we're wrapping up for today's session, what type of Google ad campaigns work the best? That is something that it's pretty subjective, to be honest. Really based on kind of what objectives you have for the company, right? At the end of the day, we're trying to drive leads. We're trying to gain conversions. No matter what type of campaign that we're running, this is the goal. This is what the client wants at the end of the day. So I would say always a search campaign is going to be up there only because it's based off of users looking for something that they want, they need, they're looking to buy. You want your business to be there. So you might want to go ahead and put up, good old AdWords, possibly at number one. However, we've been seeing here internally that Performance Max campaigns, which optimizes a lot of best features of them all, have been doing very, very well. And if you don't know about those type of campaigns, I would encourage you to just quickly Google that phrase and see what they're all about. But they work very, very well, and they adapt as well to what's happening with those campaigns. So at the very least, have some sort of campaign in place. If you're looking to move the needle here in 2024, that's what you need to be doing. You need to start investing in your Google presence at the end of the day. So if you're looking for more assistance on that, I would be happy to schedule a call with you. You could always reach out, send me a message. I'm speaking to people all the time about how they can move the needle in their business. What could they be looking at to improve their online presence? So I encourage you to do that. I love having conversations like this with companies, giving guidance, and also giving them somewhat of an assessment and just really talking strategy. Those are really fun conversations for me to have. So please feel free to reach out. We're going to be doing this live, like I mentioned, every Wednesday. We're going to come on here. We're going to talk about new things. We'll see what's on the menu for next week. I think we covered a lot so far with Google. So let's get on to other things. And I hope to see you next week. And have a great week, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.